I have 3 different rods that I use, and I use them for 3 different purposes. And I usually have at least 2 duplicate jigging rods ready at all times. So I usually have one of the swim bait, and I usually have one of the spoon or something heavy on. And I have a 4 spot rod locker, so I always have 4 of them always rigged up. So let me go over the one that's my go-to that I have all the time. And if a fish comes in, I'm gonna have to pause, obviously. So this is Circle Tackle's Full Circle Series. This is their 36-inch pike, lake trout, and walleye rod. Now this has a pretty good bend to it. Has about 70% backbone and the rest is tip, which is really nice. This is what I jig, I don't know, 90% of the time. Every once in a while, if I'm jigging it a lot deeper or out of the shack, I will switch to a longer rod. So 36 inches. These do not come with reel seats. They come with just cork. And what you need to do is put electrical tape or hockey tape and tape your reel on. And I also use Circle Tackle's 1000 size series KY 1000 size reel. Now for the braid, I use the same braid on all of my rods. It's 15-pound Power Pro high vis, and the reason I use high vis is so I can see it when it sticks to the ice. I can get it untangled on things really easy. You don't want like invisible braid. And then when I run for a leader is 12-pound fluorocarbon blue label Seaguar, and I'll put up images of both of those things right here so you guys can buy them off Amazon. I use 12-pound here, 15-pound on Sebago, and 20-pound on Champlain. So these are the smaller fish. Sebago's got bigger fish. And the only reason that I do run bigger line is so they don't bite through it. I've landed pretty big fish with 12-pound tests. It's not the strength that's the issue, is the bite resistance, because lake trout have teeth. So this is my number 1 rod, which I have down right now. So if I jump over to that, that's the reason why. This is Circle Tackle's other rod that they just came out with, and I used the prototype last year. This is the medium. I should have the medium heavy in my case right now, and I somehow grabbed the medium. This is a jaw jacker or a snapper rod, so it's got a full backbone bend, full cork grip, and you don't need to tape it to the reel. But this doesn't have high vis on. This has some other type of braid on it, just because I was running a shallow. And I'm running basically the same leader, so I'm going to use this with a shiner or a smelt on it. And I usually run jaw jackers and stuff up shallower. Now the reason for that is these things have a hard time setting the hook when they're super deep, because a fish can swim quite a ways away before getting hit, or they have the chance to spit it out. And normally, if I'm running a bigger bait, I will run a slip bobber on here, just to let that fish take that bait a little bit bigger if I'm running a bigger bait. Right now, I just have a octopus hook with a couple of split shot on there, and that's how I normally get a shiner down or something like that. I was using for bass recently, but I set it up just the same for lake trout. And then the new rod that they just came out with, which is what I use for my finicky fooler or an iFish Pro. This is basically a tip-up rod. So this is the fiberglass permafrost 39-inch rod. So this is an out of the shack rod. It's fiberglass. It's got a lot of backbone and quite a soft tip for those people up in northern Canada that are run barbless. You want that slower action rod so those hooks stay in that fish. This has, I think, probably 15-pound on it right now. A couple of split shot, and this will set in a finicky fooler outside of the shack or a iFish Pro, and it's meant to have that nice, good backbone. I haven't jigged anything with it yet. It just came out, and there was not a prototype last year, but this is a full cork handle, and fits right in that iFish Pro or in that finicky fooler. And this was designed for me because I started hammering them last year. I would be running this rod today, except for it's blowing 15 to 20 out, and I don't feel like chasing flags all day long in and out of shack. I wanted to stay in here and be warm, which is what I'm doing. So that is all the rods. I will leave the link for Circle Tackle down below. All those rods should be available by the time this video comes out, is the plan. And I will leave the links for the line, the braid, and the leader. Now, how I rig the rod, and I'll explain it. Imagine your reel bare naked. Just bought it from Circle Tackle. They sell reels too. Buy the rod and the reel. You should have electrical tape at home. What you want to do is you want to take like 8-pound or 6-pound monofilament and put some backing on first so your braid doesn't slip. So backing first, then spool it up with your braid. So that's a double uni knot, so backing to braid. You should never see your backing. And then I also use a double uni knot from my braid to my leader, and then a polymer knot from my leader to my hook. And I will you can just replay this section over and over again to hear all those knots, or I'm actually going to list them down below so you guys don't have to do that. I know it's a pain in the butt to like pause and rewind the video, even though it helps me, but I want you guys to catch more lake trout. So that's it. If you guys want to support the channel, visit bennettfish.com, buy some baits. If you want to see more ice fishing content, either click here, and I'll see you on one of those next videos.